130 years ago, the Silent Night made its first appearance to the world. The world was consumed in a maelstrom of war, and countless deaths ensued. Life became grim, and people started to lose hope. Then one day, as death and destruction showed no signs of slowing down, the martial masters of the Miram world came together and formed the Central Heavenly Alliance. The Central Heavenly Alliance decided to create a sect that would keep the Silent Night at bay. They elected a prominent martial artist named Buk Kin Hu, who became the first leader of the Northern Heavenly Sect. With the formation of this new sect, the Central Heavenly Alliance promised their support to them. They procured countless martial arts techniques and spiritual elixirs, allowing the Northern Heavenly Sect to grow in power and successfully push back the advance of the Silent Night. Time passed, and the second-generation sect leader became Nam Munsan, followed by the third-generation sect leader, Yu Kuan Yun. The Northern Heavenly Sect gained high respect, leading to the gathering of thousands of prominent martial artists in this place. The man known as the Great Wall of North. Northern Heavenly Sect's fourth-generation sect leader. The North Wall Jin Quan Ho with the pillars of the Northern Heavenly Sect, the Great Four of the Northern Heavens. Showing off their talents, the first one the Great Four of the Northern Heavens Demon Fist Zhou Qian Wu. The second one, the Great Four of Northern Heavens Tempest Storm Kim Musang. The third one, the Great Four of the Northern Heavens Cursed Ghost Blade Yun Qianhua. And the fourth, if the Great Four of the Northern Heavens Ruler of the Iron Blood Jai Hyakshim. The Great Leader and the Great Four of the Northern Heavens leader crucial role in keeping away the Silent Night from the Northern Lands. Jin Quan Ho, the Great Wall of the North and the fourth-generation sect leader of the Northern Heavenly Sect, along with the Great Four of the Northern Heavens, played a crucial role in keeping the Silent Night away from the Northern Lands. Then, one day, it seemed that the Silent Night reached its limits against the Northern Heavenly Sect, and the Silent Night disappeared. But soon after that, the Northern Heavenly Sect's leader was soon about to reach his limits. His son Jin Muon looked at his father in shock. The North Wall had crumbled. To defeat the Northern Sect, the strongest had gathered. The Nine Skies were powerful and untouchable figures who ruled over Miram. Was it the Central Heavenly Alliance's doing? The Nine Skies Seeker of Knowledge Seo Moonhwa, an extraordinary prodigy who revived the once ruined Seo Moon family. His thirst for knowledge and passion for learning was what allowed him to attain the Heavenly Lord's wisdom. He asks the sect leader Jin if he is planning to keep denying the truth till the end, and why did the protector betray? Jin Quan Ho expresses that he has always lived his life honestly, and they were telling that he was the one who betrayed them to the Silent Night. The four pillars of the Northern Heavenly Sect had all testified against him. So, they say that there was no point in lying. The sect leader sees them in the crowd opposing him. They were not even looking the sect leader in the eye. Each one of them looked away from the sect leader. The sect leader had been falsely accused by the Central Heavenly Alliance of taking him down. The four pillars were the sect leader's trusted friends for decades. They were no less than brothers to him. The sect leader had truly become alone. He looked at his son. The son was all confused. He thinks to himself that all the others had chosen to band together and conspire against him. Even if he tries to fight out of the situation, they are going to do whatever it takes to stop him. He frees himself from them and takes a stance, figuring out the plan of Central Heavenly Alliance. So, he planned to obey them and comply with their wishes. His internal force was unbelievably strong. All the people around him could feel the pressure. The Northern Heavenly Sect had become far too strong from having to deal with the Silent Night and had become an obstacle for the Central Heavenly Alliance. As long as the Northern Heavenly Sect stood, they could not have full control over the mainland. The sect leader shouts that starting from the day, the Northern Heavenly Sect shall disband, and the disciples of the Northern Heavenly Sect must leave and find a new home elsewhere. These were his last orders as the leader of the Northern Heavenly Sect. However, he further states that his son, who had lost his mother at an early age and having to grow up alone in the barren lands of the northern land, shall not be harmed in any way. One of them thinks that it would be great to kill all the family, but the B=, mood would not let him do so. So he promises not to lay a hand on the boy because he did not, the leaders of the rival fractions would have turned against him. He raises his weapon, looks at his son and asks for his forgiveness. Mu-won, crying, starts running towards his father. But it was too late, his father had killed himself. In order to protect the people from the Silent Night, the Northern Heavenly Sect was created with the help and support of the Central Heavenly Alliance. They faithfully carried out this duty for over 100 years. But the fourth-generation sect leader, Jin Kwanho, was eventually betrayed by them. 3 years later, the eyes are slowly opening. Mu-won was finally awake. Mu-won figures that those guys were. He asks what they were doing to him. The leader sees the rage in the boy's eye and says that the boy might not be a weakling and might be more vicious than they all thought. He tells his name is Jang Peisan and steps in front and tells Mu-won that he is not a kind person and does not care about how the group before treated him. He further tells that he is already pissed at the fact that they must spend the next 3 years in this place because of a measly kid like him. He then threatens Mu-won to show where he had hidden the weapons and martial techniques, or he can just let them kill him, which will set them free to go to the mainland. Mu-won starts laughing. This confuses the people around him. Jang Peisan tells Mu-won that he might not be understanding the situation he is in right now, and they could simply throw him out into the wilderness and have the wolves tear him apart, and that will be a much easier solution for them since they don't have to spend the next 3 years withering away at that place. He looked at his subordinate, and his subordinate then cut the finger of Mu-won's hand. Mu-won cries his pain. Mu-won then starts talking. He tells them if they had forgotten about the promise that his father and the Central Heavenly Alliance made. Jang Peisan is confused. The Nine Skies, the Central Heavenly Alliance? Mu-won then glares with tears in his eyes. The Silent Night had completely erased their presence from the world. And the world began to believe they had finally disappeared. Since the Northern Heavenly Sect, who was the frontline defense against the Silent Night, had been disbanded, using the Silent Night making a sudden reappearance as the justification. The Central Heavenly Alliance would dispatch mercenaries like them in order to keep watch over the area. However, that was all just an excuse. The true purpose was to keep watch over a certain individual. Just in case he does not start learning the martial arts of the Northern Heavenly Sect and plans for revenge. Being a guard was the group's true objective. Because the person they were watching over was none other than the descendant of the Northern Heavenly Sect and the last living blood of the former sect leader, Jin Mu-won, age 16. The last group who kept watch stated that the former sect leader, Jin Kwanho, only allowed his boy to read books and nothing else, so he had no knowledge of martial arts. Anything pertaining to the martial arts were all taken away by the Central Heavenly Alliance and by the Great Four of the Northern Heavens as well, and after thoroughly searching the place for anything hidden, they were unable to find them. Then one day, after doing nothing for a year, the boy seemed to have regained his senses. Because he stated that he needed to learn a skill that would allow him to earn a living and thus started practice blacksmithing. Central Heavenly Alliance's third mercenary group captain Jang Peisan states that it is hard to believe that the son of the Great Northern Heavenly Sect wants to learn blacksmithing as a way to make a living, but what is even more hard to believe is that there are not any more martial scrolls hidden in the sect somewhere. But if that is true, then there is no reason for them to waste their time in the sect for the next 3 years. Then starts thinking. Central Heavenly Alliance's third mercenary group vice captain Seo Mu-sang was skeptical and looks around. Jin Mu-won looks very glum. He looks around and sees some people. He guesses that they must be the new guards and the things were going to get annoying again. He then keeps walking. Home of 10,000 spirits, as the name implies, this place used to hold over 10,000 Confucius and martial scrolls, but the Great Four of the Northern Heavens took everything from this place. Anything pertaining to sword techniques was taken by the cursed ghost blade, Yun Chionhua. Anything pertaining to the fist were all taken by the demon fist, Shou Chionwu. Anything pertaining to foot techniques were all taken by the Tempest Storm Kyun Musang. And anything pertaining to refined chi cultivation was taken by the Iron Blood Ruler, Jae Hyukshim. A large number of the Northern Heavenly Sect's disciples ended up following the Great Four of the Northern Heavens, and each of them took a part in destroying the Northern Heavenly Sect in order to find a ruling position in the mainlands. Jin Muon thinks that he has become alone. No, not alone, he thinks that he has been abandoned. He hears his father calling to him. His father says that he is now the leader of the Northern Heavenly Sect. He cries out for his father, then sees all the people who were responsible for his father's death. In shock, he then wakes up. He gasps and catches his breath. The next day, Jin Muon is eating his breakfast. Outside the Northern Heavenly Sect, no life exists within 20 li in all directions. One could say that time had stopped, and the current destroyed state of the Northern Heavenly Sect was also a representation of the state in which Jin Muon was in. Jin Muon then starts practicing blacksmithing. The sun then starts to set. Jin Muon then goes to the roof of the sect. This was who he was, this was his current state. According to him, he was really in a sorry state. But he had not climbed the roof in order to diminish his weakness. He climbed in order to build and solidify the foundation of his will. If he falter now, everything his father did and the life he gave up would all be gone to waste. There were people behind him keeping an eye on him. They knock him down, and that was how it was to Jin Muon fingers being cut. Seo Musang says if they really had to go that far? He was a mere child. With tears in his eyes, Jin Muon speaks the nine skies. Did you forget about the promise that my father and the Central Heavenly Alliance made? This confuses the Central Heavenly Alliance's third mercenary group. Jin Muon further states if they are allowed to act this way. And regarding the Northern Heavenly Sect's scrolls and artifacts, Jin Muon sighs and tells them if they really thought that the Central Heavenly Alliance would have left any behind. They had swept the place. And if they were going to kill Jin Muon, he prompts them to try and kill him. Jin Muon states further that although they were the Great Four of the Northern Heavens, the only reason why they were with them was because they were forced to join them 3 years ago. There were still some loyal disciples of the Northern Heavenly Sect. Jin Muon asks if they would let him get away with killing him. He further states that they would immediately know the difference between suicide and murder and then will not hesitate to come after the killer's life. The previous guards had thought the same things as them, and Jin Muon tells that they should wonder why those guys did nothing but silently wait for the past 3 years. This makes the leader furious, and he hurls a sword towards him, but the vice captain Seo Musang manages to stop him in time, stating that it is in their best that they let him go, and what the child told held some truths. And also, they had searched this place and it did not have any martial arts nor valuable scrolls. Hearing this, Jang Peisan then orders his men to let Jin Muon free. Jin Muon tells them to let him free, and this place was his home, and they were the intruders. So, from then on, he tells to at least maintain behaviors as guests, and if they do that, then he will look past what they did to him. Jang Peisan tells Jin Muon to mark his words that he is letting him go for now, but the moment he starts doing something suspicious, the Central Heavenly Alliance and the Great Four of the Northern Heavens will give him the permission to kill him. Seo Musang orders everyone to make sure to watch Jin Muon properly and sigh. They let Jin Muon free. Seo Musang walks towards Jin Muon and asks for his forgiveness, offering him a cloth to stop his bleeding. Jin Muon just stands there. After giving him the cloth, Seo Musang walks away from the room. Soon after, everyone leaves. Jin Muon then just barely keeps himself from crying. The disciples of the Northern Heavenly Sect were just a bluff. There were no loyal disciples. If there were any, then they would have rescued him from the hellhole already. He doubts if there are any people who still care about the ruined sect. Nobody would care if Jin Muon lives or dies. No, He was sure that they were just waiting for him to die. The night falls and slowly the sun starts rising. Jin Muon is climbing to the roof. It was true that everything was taken from the Northern Heavenly Sect. The finger he had lost that night still hurt. Cursing his pain, he reaches the top of the roof. Even though there were no scrolls to refer, the heart of the Northern Heavenly Sect was still alive. The greatest secret of the Northern Heavenly Sect. A secret not even the four great pillars of the Northern Heavens knew about. The ultimate scroll of the Northern Sect was the Northern Heavenly Sect itself.
Thank you for joining us in this recap journey. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button. Comment if you have suggestions, want more of the series. Don't forget to share it with your friends. Do subscribe if you want more similar content. This is aniversenexus, your passport to the immersive realms of anime and manga.